My name is Alexander Grant, and I'm a local Christian artist here in Winnipeg who recently got the opportunity to go on a missions trip to Uganda with a ministry called Heart Strings Ministry. Before going on this missions trip, I didn't really feel like I had a full understanding of missions. I had some kind of idea, but never really knew what to expect. And I went with this attitude that I'm going to go and bless these people financially and bless these people spiritually and musically through worship. But what ended up happening was that they blessed me a lot more than I could ever have blessed them. Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa because they have gone through so much. They're a young country and they have come from nothing. They've been war torn, and now they're in a time of where towns are becoming cities and people are rebuilding their lives. When you leave what's comfortable, when you leave your culture, your country, your home, your church, and you go to a culture that's completely different than yours, a country that's halfway across the world, something clicks in your mind. You realize that your world, your little world, is not the entire world. And if you don't leave your country, if you don't leave what's comfortable, you actually don't get to experience God in His fullness. God's call on Uganda is completely different than God's call on Canada. We have this idea in the church of what the body of Christ looks like, but it goes further than just our church. It goes further than just our city. It goes all across the nations. Each nation is called to be a different part of the body of Christ. And I experienced this through the way that people in Uganda, how they worship God. They have mastered what the joy of the Lord is in such an intimate, amazing way that caused me to just stop and to reflect on how much we're missing out on what the joy of the Lord really is. And because they lived with nothing, now that they have something, they give it all back to God. I was amazed with how much they give. I was amazed with how much they're not tied to their physical things, to their car, their home, even their money. They would freely give it. If God told them to give everything, they would give everything. They have given everything because they believe that God will provide their needs like He has always provided their needs. My mindset on what poverty looked like went through a major change. Here in Canada, we turn on a tap and think nothing of it, but these people walk however long to get water, or these people wear the same clothes for weeks on end. And you think to yourself, how can people live like this? How can they live like this? But it's strange how that is not 100% their perception. But for some of these people, living in mud huts and living in community, having one area where everyone in your community comes and cooks together, to them, it's culture. And who are we saying that our culture is better than their culture? Thinking that we need to bring our culture in so that they will come out of poverty. But that's not how it works. The mission team that I went down with to Uganda is called Heart Strings Ministry, and they believe in empowering leaders that are already planted in that country. Raising up leaders to make a change, to be the change, to be a connection between people in the church, between God and the church. We went to conferences with leaders and people in churches and empowered them. We led them into worship. We spoke the word over them. We empowered them to go and be the change in their communities. I am just lucky enough that I got to go and witness it and be a part of it for just a small time. I personally think that everyone needs to experience a missions trip. You need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to go to another culture. You need to see what God is doing there. How people worship God in a different culture, in a different space. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but you get to see God move in a way that you have never seen Him move before. In every single way. Uganda has blessed me.